Hi, and welcome back to another Builder's Guild video. And in today's video, we're going to be making a mushroom fairy house. So as you can see behind me, I had laid out the foundations for a fairy house. As you can see, it's going to be 3 separate shapes, or actually technically 4. And I have gone ahead and done the roofs because you know me, I have a terrible time doing roofs and they take way longer than they should. But for roofs, we kind of have a dome shape, a flat roof, and kind of a pyramid shape over here. And when you guys return, I will have had the house filled in. Okay, and welcome back, guys. And I have got the house laid out. I'll take a quick look. As you can see, it is done using the mushroom blocks from the cottagecore mod. I used an amethyst fence and just decorated with a couple of amethyst clusters just to kind of make it look fairy-like. I have plotted out spots for the windows. I decided to turn this into, and we're going to do the interior in another video, so don't worry, this isn't the color wood that's going to be in the final piece. It was just I needed something to lay out. So we're going to go and do the windows right now, and then we will add some final decorations to the outside. I did use blue bark trapdoors for the windows. We'll take a quick peek inside here. As you see, kind of just gives it kind of a more of a fantasy feel. And I used light blue blocks. And to contrast all the, well, there is a lot of blue, but to contrast the light blue, I used dark blue wood planks. As I said, up here I just decided last minute I kind of wanted to be an area, kind of a lookout area. So we're going to start with the main windows. And I decided I would use the amethyst just to kind of set off the look of the blocks in certain areas. So you're not going to be using these amethyst stairs and all. So I picked blue and purple for this. And if you mix it, it just gives the build more depth. So if we back away, kind of just gives it a bit of an interesting look. And I will mix up how I lay out my blocks just to change the feel a little bit. Actually, I want to put blue up there. And we'll cut in through here and we'll do, oops. So back here, what I was thinking about doing was adding the amethyst. Maybe knocking that up a little bit. So this way we can use the both colors. Just wanted something to contrast all the blue, but yet that was still going to make it feel magical. And I do have some special windows for the cottagecore mod that we're going to be putting up in a little bit. Come back this way. Some of these look funny, and that's just the way I laid it out, unfortunately. So. This one's giving me a hard time, so let's try it from the inside, maybe. There we go. So we're going to be having this as a step up. So this room is going to be ground level. Actually, I did that wrong. So, that's why it looks funny. Yeah, so when you come in, there's going to be like a little stairs for you to come up. And gonna be able to jump up and look out like that. Thought it looked funny. And like, you know, the same in this way. Oh dear, knew I was... Can I break any more things? Give me time, I will. So let's fix that real quick. Okay, so now we want to do up here. This particular part of the building did give me a bit of a hard time trying to figure out where to put stuff. Okay. So I kind of decided I want to have the amethyst stairs only in certain areas. And I got rid of my blue glass. So let's bring that back. Now this part is looking a bit bland, I think. So I may come back later and add a bit more to it. Not 100% sure. So like this one here definitely went a little bit too high when I was knocking out blocks. So you do want the windows to be the same. You can see here, it's kind of into the window, into the next wall, but it doesn't look like that out there. So I'm going to let that one slide this time, hopefully. Stuff like that does have a habit of bothering me. But if you come back here, as you can see, I left this because this part, second part here, is going to kind of be the bedroom. I believe the bedroom. I may change it to something else. So we're going to come over here. And this is where I'm excited because we're going to use our special windows now. So we're going to pop in our amethyst. And we got to have a mushroom because I always think of fairies and mushrooms. Hopefully back up a little bit. That's looking pretty cool. I think, oops. So I'm gonna add, so this one is gonna be only 2, or maybe we can bump it up. Yeah, there we go. And this particular, I think I'll do a night one. Kind of want this tower to represent everything with nature. So that's pretty neat looking. And well, here I think this part will do the rainbow. Did I put these in the wrong way? I think I did. Ugh. I'm just going to use these blocks as a guide for a second. Actually, I put them on the wrong side. So I realized they're not really matching up. Yeah. So I'm just going to come back and we're going to change the position of these real quick. So I'll be sticking a temporary block in here just to help with my aim. Should have figured that out up here that I was putting them in wrong. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to fix the ones on the other side in a second. First, I want to finish this side. And for some reason tonight, the blocks and I are having issues aiming. So I'd like to give us kind of a neat indent area. Take these out. And we're going to stick another one here for that window and underneath. I'm going to do this and I may not be able to get back out. Look at that, I was able to. So over here, we're going to put our little cherry tree. So this is going to be kind of like her magical, the fairy's magical tower. So you can see once I did it again. Don't know why I keep doing that. So this one over here, we have to pick some more of the, it's going to be general. We do have to pick some more nature. Don't want to do a brown mushroom, but let's do a flower. So let's grab a rose. Actually, change my mind. Let's grab a sunflower. And let's do the shooting star. Those are things that would do good. And a shooting star I'm going to put on the second roof story. And I am going to come around and light it when we put the lights in, so it ought to look really cool glowing at night. Clean up my mess in here before I make another. Because I'm always making messes. Let's go around this way. Okay. And now we decide to add the sunflower here. Oh. So just trying to get this adjusted right. For some reason tonight I am having a problem with that. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay. I have to make this one 3 big. Same with this one. As I said, I'd like everything to be as even as possible. It's particularly when it comes to my windows. Fortunately, that's something I am very picky on. So as I said, we're going to do the shooting star on top. And we're going to do the sunflower at the bottom. And we always back up to take a look at it. It's looking pretty good. So as I said, these I did all wrong. But I am not going to, well, you know, it's not that many, so we'll quickly fix those. It's just a habit of knocking out a block and putting in another one. So the next part we're going to be decorating, oh, excuse me, the outside of our fairy house. Got the hiccups now. So when I think of a fairy, I think a lot of plant life. This area just looked a bit bland, so I just popped that there. Probably should do some on this side too. I may change that later. Okay, so I'm going to grab my shovel. And I'm also going to grab some red mushrooms. And she should have some mushrooms around her house. I know people like to do the broken up pass and mix the different textures in. I have never really liked that. I don't think that looks good. But I mean, if that's something you like, by all means do it. So I'm going to make a fairy ring. Or maybe a couple of them. Let's maybe shorten this a bit. Oh. So a fairy ring is... Oh, I have to put it on. I forgot. I have to put it on special ground. But that's okay. So I'm just going to work out the placement. Let's see what that looks like. It's probably not going to be the best fairy ring. Sometimes I can see better once I get blocks out of the way. So here we have our little fairy ring. We're gonna fill the rest in with podza. And then the outside of it, we're just gonna do with grass. So the other thing I think, if you wonder why my mushrooms are different, I'm using a 3D items resource pack. So we're also going to put in a garden over here. Actually more of a farm. I mean, fairies do love nature, so let me grab a hoe. And let's see, let's do some beets. And of course, let's grab some bone meal so we can make them grow. If you were in survival, you would want to Obviously put in a water source. I'm just going to say the water source comes from my lake over here. So I'm just going to kind of do an uneven, crazy looking. Layout with her little beetroots. They are cute looking. So now I'm going to bone meal them. Okay. So our next step is, I'm not liking how the front looks. So I'm going to grab another mushroom block. Just looks too rigid. And we're going to edge it off as best as we can. And I'd like to put something under these windows here. Let's see what the stairs would look like. So we can do something like this. I would only probably do this on the second floor. And then we can come back and add some plants. So we can grab a pot. And we're going to come back and grab some flowers. I do have a mod that lets me put bigger plants in the pot. So if something of yours isn't going there and you see mine going, my plants going in there, that's why. I at the moment can't remember the name of it. So I'm just grabbing different flowers. Let's grab one. I forgot one more. Where's my orchid? I always have to have an orchid. Okay. Well, maybe we'll put some blue over here. That's looking a bit bland. So we wanted to go with the mushrooms. And I'm going to quickly scroll down until I find the light blue mushroom slab. That's going to come a little bit higher. I don't mind it overlapping. But it's just going to break up the all-white surface. I'm just going to do it to the end here. So next we're going to add in some of the potted plants. And some lights, but this time around I'm going to use the Beautify mod, and I'm going to get the hanging pot and the rope. think I also am going to do it the old-fashioned way. All right, grab some rooted dirt. Scroll down here. Let's get some glowberries. Of course, I always lose them. Here we go. Did have a mod that would turn this, not a mod. I had a resource path that turned this into the glowberries into wisteria, but fortunately it doesn't work anymore. Or I had a conflict and I couldn't get it to work. And let's grab the spruce trapdoor. Oh, I also meant to grab, I want to grab the soul lantern. To me, that's kind of a magical feeling of a light. That's what I was afraid of. My blocks are too high. Can I bring it down lower without messing up? Oh, I can bring it down lower without messing up my window. So just knock these out and replace them real quick. That makes it look a little bit better. Makes it look a little bit more like a roof. And it leaves the edge of the balcony. Ay, ay, ay. So when you come back for part 2 of this video, I will have a little bit of other things put in, because I don't want this video to go too long. It's probably already gone over what I planned it to be, but okay. So I do want, you know, I do like to hang potted plants where they're kind of seen from the window. I just think it adds a touch of realism. So this, the Beautify mod has a cool option that lets you put the bigger plants into the pots, and you can bone meal them to get them to overhang. So obviously I have to do that. And I do want to sprucing up this area a bit. So I am going to, let's see, let's put our dirt there. So I'm not going to be, well, actually we can cover that side, good. And I lost my glowberries. All right. So here's our glowberries again. Now I'm going to grab our... So I don't want these really to glow. So I'm gonna bring it down there. Let's see. Let's do another one over here because this area is... Oh, I just broke my beets. Dang it. That's frustrating. Oh. And this time we'll have them light up. You know, let's make this not have a corner. And we can bring this guy all the way down. I'm going to do that on the other side. I'm going to knock out the corner. So I'm going to add another one here. it's a bit hidden, so I'm not going to worry too much about dirt showing. We're really going to let this one hang down. I'm just trying to break up the lines of the build. And let's also put a hanging pot here. So let's make it look like, you can see it from the balcony. And this particular time, let's grab some roses. This is going to be the last one we're going to put down for tonight. So yeah, let's grab our roses. Okay. And here is our little fairy house. As I said, oops, I'm in the grass again. It's far from done. There'll be more decorations I'll do on the outside, but this is a good base to get you started. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will do the interior. Thank you guys very much, and I hope you have a good night. Bye!